Hello and welcome back. I'm sorry it took so long, but work was like crazy those days. This puzzle is more or less an application of one of my recent videos that I saw it gain a lot of attention. A puzzle in which I'll talk about opposition. I will leave a link in the description for you if you want to check that out. In this position is white to move and win the game. And the white is going up, black is going down, so there will be no confusion here. My question is, can you win this endgame? Because honestly, it's quite challenging if you don't know about the concept we are gonna discuss. I will let you a few seconds to think about the first move. If you start with king d6, this would only be a draw. Black would play king b6 and now you wouldn't have a way to win black pawns. If you're trying king d7, black would follow with king b7, and so on and on. Black would never let you take his pawn. And if you think you are being clever here and play king e7, expecting the same outcome from black with king c7, then yes, if black would blunder here and move to c7, this position is now a win for white. e6, c8, d6, and after king c8, black is forced to leave his pawn undefended, and now it's an easy win. But black would not blunder, and instead he would move to a7, keeping what is called a distant opposition. I won't get into much depth about opposition because I already have a bunch of video talking about this. I would only briefly describe it. Opposition is when two kings oppose each other and the person who made the last move has opposition. In our example, black moves last, so he has the opposition. But why it's important to have opposition? Simply put, it will win your games. More complexly put, you can force your opponent to make some moves that he doesn't want to, and leave some important squares undefended. As I said, black would go to a7, and now, no matter where you go, black would follow up, keeping that opposition. King e8, king a8, d8, we have b8. Quick note over here, opposition only happens when the squares between kings it's an odd number. And this will continue until a draw by repetition is achieved. Going back, king to e5 has the same problem. It loses opposition after king a6. Even if the pawn is between the kings, he wouldn't interfere with that opposition. And again, as the last example, black wouldn't let us approach and capture his pawn. The key endgame concept, which we'll exemplify in this video, and what we need to do here in order to win, is called outflanking. Simply put, to go around with your king. Looking at the position, we saw that no matter where we will move, we wouldn't gain opposition. But our purpose to gain it is not just to simply have opposition. We want to use it in order to win the c-pawn. We saw an example at the beginning of the video where, even if black had the opposition, he was forced to give up his pawn. So, is there a way to force that outcome from this position? Here we have 4 possible moves for our king, but I will make it easier for you guys and I will let you choose between king f6 and king f5. The correct move in this position is actually king f5. Even if king f6 seems like it will be the correct move, it will actually be a blunder that would allow black to draw this game. Here is a little visualization tool to help you understand it. I said we need to use outflanking in order to win black pawns. And outflanking, as the name suggests, is to outflank the enemy king. So, in order to do that, we must come from a flank. If we move to f6, black would move to b6, and between our kings is only a straight line. There is no flank. But if you go to f5, black couldn't keep that opposition or keep that straight line because the b5 square is protected by our pawn. So he is forced to move to either a6 or b6. And now we can draw this rectangle over here and see that the enemy kings are not face to face and we have a flank to work with. I think it will be easier to remember this way, that you need to create a rectangle using the kings. After black to b6, what we would play next? Yes, we go to f6, and now look at this. We are now the one who has a position, meaning that we would be able to force black away from his pawn. King a5, king e7, b6. Here we can keep the opposition with either king d6 or king d8, a diagonal opposition. b7, we continue with king d7, and we want to restrict black from coming to b6 and b7. And in order to do that, we need our king to be on c7. But we cannot play that. So again, look at that rectangle. We want to keep it, and the next correct move is king to c8. And now we arrive on c7, and it will be an easy win. There you have it, outflanking. This endgame puzzle is still from Dvorestky manual. I strongly suggest you study this book if you want to improve your endgame technique. And if you have any question or if you want any specific topic, let me know in the comments and I will make it happen. Cheers guys!